All right, med spas, do you want to grow your filler revenue? Heck yes, you do. That's why you're watching. That's why you're here. Because really it's a win-win for both the patient and the med spa. Your patients get immediate results and your med spa makes a great profit. So of course, you want to pay attention and invest time, energy, and even dollars in growing your filler bucket, right? And today I want to make sure that adding filler to your patient's treatment plan is not passing you by, because there really is so much opportunity to be had. Some may think that doing a filler promo, right, a discount is the way to go, but I'd love to share with you first why I'm not a fan of filler promos, especially to new patients. And at the end of the day, a filler promo that is outside marketing efforts, we're not talking internal right now, but outside marketing efforts really attracts the deal seekers. Think about it. If someone has never done filler before and they see an offer for a discount on a syringe or syringes and they grab onto it, it's likely that that is not a loyal patient, that they are jumping from one med spa to the next based on a. And while it's fine to get some of those, that's not really who you want to be focusing on at the end of the day. I actually like a different strategy in order to grow your revenue bucket, and I'd love to share that with you. Before I do though, I wanna know who currently uses Botox promos as a gateway for filler. In the chat or comment box, type in Botox gets me fillers if that is a strategy that you are currently using. If you're one of my marketing clients, then you've likely heard me say this before, because when clients come to me and say, oh, I want to do a filler promo, cost per lead is high, and it's not a super sexy, loyal patient at the end of the day. So I love using Botox as your gateway to growing your filler revenue bucket. It can be done. It does work, but here's the kicker. You have to execute it properly. And there's a key point in the patient's journey that many med spas are missing the boat on. And it really all comes down to the provider being a leader in the consultation room. Shocker, right? I talk until I'm blue in the face about being a leader in the consultation room. It really, guys, has nothing to do with the promo or the marketing message or creatives. But once you get that Botox patient in there, having a dialogue and conversation with your patient. Now, I got some very, very interesting data from Allergan. They shared with me regarding filler purchases. And I really thought this was eye-opening, and I would imagine happening in many, many med spas all across the country. So listen up. This is a scary, scary stat. Only 24% of the time do providers initiate the filler discussion, that they are even talking about filler. Only 24% of the time. Yikes, you guys, that is such a big indicator on the next set of data points that I'm going to be sharing with you, which is the key to convert a patient into utilizing filler is to actually get them on their first neurotoxin or Botox appointment. Because every appointment thereafter, from 1 to 2nd appointment, you're 50% less likely. 3rd, 60, 4th, 70, 5th, 80, and so on and so forth, less likely to convert a patient over to filler. Now, because of the original data point of 24% of providers are never even mentioning filler to their patients. It makes sense, right? With every appointment that goes by, you're less likely to convert them to filler. But that's why I kind of like to force the conversation or the hand by at the end of a Botox promo funnel, right? They've opted into a Botox promo. They requested an appointment. You send them to a thank you page. I love but wait, there's more. And give them just a small filler promo, or even just start educating them about filler to start the conversation before they even show up to your med spa. Same with the messaging and the welcoming, right? It should never be the first time that they've even heard of filler in the consultation room. We got to begin educating them prior to them showing up. We got to keep that initial excitement that they had when they first saw your offer or your ad. We got to keep that up. And that all has to do with your messaging, with your welcoming, with your confirmations prior to them showing up in the room. I have some clients that suck in the consultation room that aren't talking about filler with their Botox promo, but because we have it at the end of their Botox funnel, the patient is asking the provider about, oh, what about that, first time or treatment visit filler offer, right? That I saw at the end on that thank you page. They're bringing it to their attention. And it shouldn't be that way. But when you put together really strong marketing strategy and effort combined with a stellar consultation, treatment plan, rebooking, right? Even if you don't have time on that first appointment, that first Botox appointment, they can commit to that filler and pre-purchase, right? Their syringes or take a deposit down and then schedule them for that filler appointment. Because every single appointment that passes, you are less likely to ever convert that Botox patient to a filler appointment. But your providers have to be talking about it. And only 24% of providers actually ever talk to their patients about filler. And so the big takeaway is here, you really need in the patient journey, in your consultation process, in your scripting, you have to be talking about it. In my 5-star consultation training, one of the things that I have in the scripting, whether it's a device or a treatment or a facial, one of the questions that you should be asking in that consultation is, how quickly are you looking for results, right? Because they're saying, and of course they say right now, immediately, yesterday, well, let's talk about injectables. That is your gateway to starting that conversation. You got to make sure that you are mapping out that patient journey and talking about these services prior to them showing up to your med spa, that it is scripted in your consultation process, that you train on it with your team. And then here's another kicker, guys. You got to track results and pay attention to what your providers are doing in the consultation room, and have secret shoppers and make sure that these conversations are being had, because so much revenue is being left on the table because our providers are not talking about filler. And guys, the data is clear. Don't let them fool you. 24% of providers, that's it, are talking about filler. That means they're allowing the patient really to dictate the treatment plan, and that the patient is leading the conversation or the consultation or the treatment, right? And of course, there's all these excuses. I don't have time, right? Or I don't feel comfortable. I need more training. And so that is the responsibility as our practice managers and our owners to make sure that you provide a philosophy-based, systems-driven protocol within your med spa so that your patients get amazing results and no dollars are being left on the table at the end of the day. So take away those data points, guys. Let that sit for a minute. That for every 10 Botox patients that come in, 2.5 of them are being talked to about filler. And you are 50% less likely to ever convert that patient from Botox to adding filler if you don't get them on that first appointment. So think about it. What process, what accountability, what training do you need to put in place to make sure that you are not one of those med spas that the filler boat is passing you in your patients by. If you don't convert a patient into filler on that first appointment, I'm not saying do filler right then and there, because I understand you might not have time on that first appointment, but you can certainly take a deposit and rebook their filler appointment when they check out at that first appointment. All right, guys. So I hope at the end of the day, you take these data points back to your team, talk about them, ask them, what does that look like in the consultation room? What is your cue? How are you reminded that I need to talk to my patients about filler so that we're not missing out on that conversation? Donnie, did you have a question?
Do you have any scripting for that?
Yeah. So again, on my kind of generic consultation training, it's not generic, but let's say that it's more focused on new patient where you're not sure what the full treatment plan is, or maybe you're focused more on the device. That one question of like, how quickly are you looking for results, right, is the gateway to talking about filler. Additionally, that aesthetic interest questionnaire that every single patient should be filling out, right? When they say, I want fuller lips, or have loose skin, or I have lines around my mouth, or, I have concave temples, right? On that aesthetic interest questionnaire where they're talking about pain points, that is your best really gateway to filler. For some people, they kind of have a hang up. Think about my mom, and she was terrified when I first started talking to her about Botox. And then she was terrified again when I first started talking to her about filler. So it's always the scariness, right? So when you say Botox or you say filler, it's scary. But when you come at it from like, well, you told me, these are the challenges, or this is what you see when you look in the mirror, and this is what you would like to have help with. And then you go into education, social proof, credentialing yourself, you take away the scariness of the treatment per se, right? When you are focusing on and using the same language that they're using with their pain points and challenges and results that they are looking to see. So it's all about that aesthetic interest questionnaire. And then role playing with your team, because in my consultation training, I give a lot of example of verbiage that a person can use to uncover pain points. I'm a big proponent of using the mirror. I'm a big proponent of taking that before and after picture and actually using it in the consultation to get a commitment to a treatment plan. There's great technologies out there. Like Vizia is one of the examples where you can, show them what the filler would look like, right? With AI technology. And that's another way to kind of put people at ease. Every provider has their own way and language that they like to present and talk to their patients. And they got to figure out what's going to work for them, what's going to make them the most confident and help them build rapport quickly with their patients. And the only way you can do that is to practice and to role play and to hold people accountable. In the beginning, training someone, it's about the activity and creating habits, right? And confidence. So they do it without thinking about it. In the beginning, you're a little bit robotic. And then after that, you're really looking at the data, right? Because in the beginning, it's just about the activity. But then if you're really doing it right, you're going to see an increase in results. And if you have your financial set up correctly, you should be able to pull data to be able to see average spends in each of those different buckets and categories. And the numbers don't lie when you're breaking it down. I mean, if you're seeing trends on, number of units, number of syringes, number of patients that use fillers, like all of these things that you can pull out of your KPIs and your financials, it's going to be eye-opening of this person. I need to invest more time and energy and training and providing them with the tools, training, and accountability to build their confidence and hold them accountable. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. If you love this training, make sure that you share it with your team or another med spa owner that could benefit. You can catch the replay on my YouTube channel. and to get access to more free trainings that help you grow your med spa, make sure you visit my link tree in my bio and be sure to join live every Wednesday at 2:30 Central Time, same place. Find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom. Thanks, guys.